She did it. Look. Good morning. So it's about 8 a.m. I just dropped off Destiny and Deshaun at school. It's cold out here, guys. For those of you who don't know, I live in New York. It is about like 52 degrees right now, and it feels like it's about 40. Lucky, lucky for Ashley. She lives in Florida. She in the 90s today. Well then. But anyway, look at these little cool decorations. Little spider webs. But anyway, I'm on my way to Nicholas Sparks' book signing. He's gonna be at a Barnes and Nobles in Manhattan, and well, Ashley is one of his biggest freaking fans ever. I pre-ordered a book, his latest book for her birthday, and I didn't tell her, and then without knowing, she also pre-ordered the book for her birthday. So yeah. But yes, I'm on my way to this train. I'm actually going to go stop, get some hot chocolate and breakfast probably, then get on the train. I've recorded as much as I can. So if you're a Nicholas Sparks fan, give this video a thumbs up. If you like reading, give this video a thumbs up. And even if you just like rocking for us on the channel, give this video a thumbs up. Later, guys. Oh, look. She made that. Took me forever. Right up here. Anyway, it's about 9:35. Got mine. And it starts at 12, and I'm about to I bought some breakfast. So I'm about to eat. I'm about to get a little book and read, and catch you guys later. Alright guys, so I didn't even know that all the way on the top floor they were letting people like come sit, so it's already so crowded. Look at this. There's like 1,000 people in front of me. So yeah, but I'm still here reading the book. I think Babe forgot I was supposed to come here today, and she's like talking to me regular, and I'm not gonna bring it up. Alright, so they're going row by row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm about to enroll 6. I probably would have been in the first row if I came straight up after I got my wristband at 9:30. But it's okay, because I'm going to get up there. Yeah, I still don't think Babe remembers that I'm here. She's still talking to me regular at work. I'm going to just send her the picture of the signed book and me and him. Like, hey, by the way, look. Anyway, yeah.
Bestsellers, and all of his books have been New York Times and international bestsellers, and have been translated into more than 50 languages. 11 of his novels have been adapted into major motion pictures. Now gets swept up in his new novel, Every Breath, an epic romance that spans decades and continents, examining the many facets of love that lay claim to our deepest loyalties and begs the question, how long can a dream survive?
Why don't you write a letter? And that's what the people do. And that's what they've been doing since 1983. They go there and they write letters to lost loved ones. They write letters about their first love. They write letters about their summer vacation or seeing an old friend that they haven't seen for a first time. Some people write poems. Some people leave recipes or maps or a restaurant review. Whatever you want. They put these messages into the envelope, into the mailbox. Then, anyone who goes to the mailbox can read them. It was like the very first blog from 1983, right? Before there was a blog. Like, why would you do this? So some people tell you who they are. They'll give you their names. A lot of people are anonymous. Some people just put first names. But there's something really magical about just wandering out in the middle of nowhere, and there's a mailbox. Letters in my books, right? Noah and Allie wrote letters. Dear John was all about letters. Ira and Ruth had letters in The Longest Ride. And of course, the further we go into this new century, it's getting harder and harder to have a story with letters because nobody writes them anymore. Everyone does email. And email just doesn't have the same fling, right? It doesn't have the same romantic flair as a good old-fashioned love letter. So how fortuitous was it for me to find this mailbox, right? And little by little, an idea began to take root. And early on when I was deciding, when I made the decision to start writing again when I was 28 years old, I wasn't sure what to write. What I said was, I had written 2 novels which were never published. I'd written one at 19 and one at 22. So I was 28 years old and I said, it would be great if this works out, and if it doesn't, I can live with that as like becoming an author. But I don't want to tell myself that I didn't give it a real shot. So it came down to what I was going to do about chasing this particular dream. So I said to myself, I'm going to write 3 books. 3 books. I'm going to try. And if none of them work, okay, I'm not meant to be a writer. I'll know I gave it my best effort. So I said, well, what should I write first? And it was a story from my Kathy, draw you in kind of like The Notebook. So you take these 2 ideas, you take the mailbox, you take this sense of gratitude I have for all of you who've been reading me for a long time, put them together, and you come up with Every Breath. One final thing. Of course, as I've written and written and written, I've read internationally by different, also 50 different languages or something like that, read all around the world. And of course, people who read me are every type of person. So over the last few books, I've been really trying to expand the types of characters. So I really think, or I'm hopeful that you're going to like both of the main characters. I think there's going to be a lot of people who relate to Hope and the decisions she faces regarding her life, because she kind of feels like a lot of things are really great, but there's a couple of things that are just off. And then you have True. He's the main guy, and he's from Zimbabwe, and he's a safari guide. And 6 weeks out of every 8, he lives in the bush. He ferries guides from lodges out to see the wild animals, right? The lions and the leopards and the elephants and all of that. And of course, I've been to Africa numerous times. I love the continent. It's probably my favorite continent to visit. I'm going again next year. I just think it's one of the most magical places in the world for every reason. The culture, the people, the food, everything about it. And I said, all right, so let me make True, essentially, a foreigner, right? He's not from the U.S. But of course, we know me, and I write books in North Carolina, so he comes to North Carolina. And you can only go so far, right? I gotta give you something that you're expecting. But anyway, I do hope that I'll do a couple of questions, and then I'll get to the signing. And by the way, the people last in line, hour and 15 minutes, maybe? So it's not that long. People in the front line can be fast. But I think that's about the end of the line. I wouldn't think it's more than an hour and 15 minutes or so. A couple questions, anyone? Right. Speaking for myself, I loved reading, so of course you have to read a lot. But you know what else I think helps me? TV and movies. You know why? Because they're stories. They're stories. And if you talk about TV, every 8 minutes they kind of have to end on a cliffhanger, because there's a commercial coming and they got to keep you tuned in. Well, you know, that's very handy in writing too. Whenever you come to the end of the chapter, you have to end it in a way that makes someone want to turn that next page. So there's lessons you can learn from any form of a good story. So you have to read, you have to learn to value stories and to see what makes stories tick and why, and you should really practice honing your reasons why one book is better than another. Why did this one work? What was it? The characters, the plot, the length, this, that. So the more you learn what you think works,
We're getting there. I'm almost there. You see? I'm almost there. Guys, we did it. Look. Bam. She's about to have a massive heart attack when I send her this picture. I'm gonna just put the screenshot in of her reaction when I send her the picture via message.